All right, guys, we are live. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Multifamily Mafia. My name is Jordan Stanley Payne. I'm sure most of you guys know that, but in case you didn't, um, make sure I'm connected here really quick. Guys, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me really quick. Michelle, Dominique, everybody good? Mr. Boyd, Mr. Van Horn. I want to make sure my audio is connected right. Perfect. I think we're good. So, guys, like I said, my name is Jordan Stanley Payne. I founded Multifamily Mafia as a way to provide accurate, just overall straightforward information for people that want a different approach than just the guru or just YouTube and Google. So I created Multifamily not as a show about multifamily real estate, but about different communities and different groups of people combining with a singular vision and a singular cause to get financially free. So I'm not interested in just teaching you how to do a wholesale deal. I'm not interested in just teaching you how to do a fix and flip. My goal, my passion in life is to see people become financially free. So that's why I did this show. That's why I am here. That's why I dedicate my time every single week. I'm going to throw up my website quickly. Michelle says she can't hear you, but it looks like everybody else can. Greg, Carlos, Maria, Carl, can you guys hear me? I want to make sure I don't mess that up really quick. All right, we got the thumbs up. Guys, my website, if you want more information about the show, if you want more information about me, jordanstanleypayne.com/start. I've got an ebook where I show you guys exactly how I did all of my beginning deals in real estate. Got a bunch of free resources, my podcast, my YouTube, all of that. So guys, make sure you check that out when you have a second. Guys, I'm really excited today. No audio. Michelle fixed it. Weird. They're throwing me off, buddy. Cool. It sounds like we're good there. Guys, I'm extremely excited today to have one of the guys that I actually really respect in real estate right now. His name is Stas. He's a guy that I met probably close to a year ago when he joined one of our communities called the Kingdom Real Estate. At that point in time, he was 18 years old. He was out there hustling, out there crushing it. He was rapidly moving forward to doing his first deal. So I was extremely excited when he came into our community, and I've literally watched him over probably close to a year grow as an investor, as a real estate professional, and overall as a person. So it's been really fun watching this happen, and I wanted to bring him on the show to highlight somebody that's working very hard and pursuing financial freedom. So you guys know me. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what race you are, what sex you are. I don't care where you live, whether it's in Bangladesh or whether it's in Chicago. None of that matters to me. If you put your head down, if you work hard, and if you apply the principles that we teach, you can get financially free. You can have a different future for your family. So guys, that's what we're going to be talking about a little bit today. I'm going to switch the view over and introduce Stas. Mr. Stas, thanks for being on, and I really greatly appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me, Jordan, and thank you for the warm welcome.
Absolutely. So I want to know, I know I gave a short intro there, but I want to know, why did you choose real estate? You know, you could have been a stockbroker, you could have been a musician, you could have been, a tech entrepreneur. What about real estate was attractive to you that made you say, look, that could be a way for me to make money and get financially free?
Yeah. So, what first made me go into real estate was when I was in high school. When I moved to America, I was super interested of starting a business. I wanted always to be a businessman. I didn't like school, so I I had an idea to build a store basically to crush Starbucks, and I said, okay, how can I create something like this, and how can I'm nowhere. I mean, I don't know anybody. I have no knowledge to build something like this, and I don't know where to start. And I said, okay, if I need stores, I will need to understand really good real estate. So I said, okay, I will want to build my foundation with real estate and understand every single possible thing about real estate. And after that, create that dream a reality after I feel that I built my foundation and I feel confident that I'll pursue the next venture that I'm very excited about too. But that's what motivates me to be a real estate investor right now.
So how old were you at that point when you had the idea to put Starbucks out of business?
16.
16 years old.
Yep.
Um, Man, that's really cool. It's interesting that you said you wanted a foundation in real estate while you were doing that.
Mm.
You look at like, have you seen the movie The Founder?
Yes.
Like that was their whole thing. Their whole thing was about real estate. So that just kind of struck me when you said that. That's interesting to me.
Yeah. That's my goal, and I'm really excited about learning everything possible about real estate. And after that, switching to that, to that venture that I really, really, really want to pursue.
See, what's cool about that? I've been working with Stas, mentoring him in one of our the Kingdom Real Estate's program. It's called Elite. And
Yeah.
Stas, I didn't even know that. Like that's the first time I'm hearing that. So that's really cool to hear, man.
Yeah,
I definitely want to hear more about that as well. So,
for sure.
you're 16, you have this idea. You decide that a great start would be real estate as you're, building the other aspects of your business.
Hmm.
So how did you start in real estate? Was it a book? Was it YouTube? You have this idea that you want to pursue it, but what did the beginning look like for you?
Yeah. So after I decided that I will pursue real estate, uh, I started researching YouTube because we're a younger generation. We're always researching YouTube, and so wanna I started watching videos about wholesaling, about how to get started in real estate, and what's the best way to do it. And I at that point I was, what, 17. I was like, that sounds really easy, but I don't know how to do this. I mean, I'm in school. I don't know how to do it yet. And uh, when I that's how I actually started learning a little bit about strategies, about what is motivated seller, what is this, and like simple stuff from YouTube. But that what's bring me the little foundation of what I understand about real estate. But that was it. Yep.
And a lot of people, it's interesting that you say that as well. When I started in real estate, I was at a company called Enterprise Rent-A-Car,
Okay.
and I was managing a pretty large branch at the airport in Billings, Montana, and I purposely would take the evening shift because it was slow for a couple hours at a time. And dude, I did the exact same thing. I devoured everything I could find on YouTube.
Mm.
I was doing audiobooks and YouTube, and I was reading books, and I said, man, there's got to be a better way than literally working until 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning
Right.
in the winter in Montana, and then having to drive an hour through a blizzard just to get home,
Wow.
repeat and go do the morning shift again after, like I was like, dude, there has to be a better way than this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's cool, man. So you did YouTube, you were starting to understand some of the basics. How did you find me and the Kingdom? You probably met Ed and Taylor first over in Charlotte, or
So it's funny you mentioned this. So it's super weird how I found you guys. Um, my mom, we have a business. It's an ice cream business. So my mom is selling ice cream around neighborhoods, and she sells ice cream in John Williams neighborhood. And they were start talking. They were like, they talk, and my mom said, it was July. It was 1st of July or something like that. And she said, "Hey, I have clients that they invited me in to have a dinner on 4th of July. Celebrate with them." And I said, and in that time I was so focused on, like, I just graduated from high school. I was thinking what I want to do. How am I gonna start in real estate? I had some setbacks about, like, my accent and talking on the phone, so I was not sure.
what accent? I don't hear an accent.
Yeah, now it's not that bad. But she said, "Come on," and I was telling her, I really don't want to get with people, with bad mindset. I'm working on my mindset. I want to be successful. Da, 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 da. And she's like, "Okay, this one evening, let join me." I said, "Okay, I will." So I went there. I didn't know them. So my mom introduced me to them. We had we had a dinner, and I started talking about some mindset stuff and some books that I've read, what I like, and investing and what I'm thinking. And he said, "Really, we're real estate investors actually." Like John told me about it. I'm like, "Are you serious?" I was so excited that I met someone that I want to do something, something like that.
So, Stas, you're playing this off like it's not a big deal. So you're 17 years old at that time.
No, no, 18. That time,
You're
18.
okay. So you're 18 years old at that time. You recently graduated high school.
Like 16 days after.
So 16 days out of high school, you meet these random strangers, these random adult strangers at
Yep.
their house, and you're talking to them about mindset
Yep.
and about the books that you're reading and about
Mhm.
your entrepreneurial stuff.
Yep.
Uh, I know you're making that not a big deal, but dude, like 1% out of like the whole world would be willing to do that and would have the balls to just to jump in and say, look, I'm working on my mindset. Like
Yeah.
I didn't even discover that concept until I was like 25. Huh,
Wow.
if I can fix my freaking head, I can make more money and I can impact more people. Like, dude, you had such a huge head start on most people, which is
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
So,
That's
so you meet John and Wendy Williams, and they let you know that they're in real estate, and then you started asking questions, or what did that look like?
absolutely. I started asking questions, and I said, "Hey, how can I help you? Do your thing and bring value, and I can, be around you so I can learn some stuff and get into real estate too because I'm passionate. That's what I want to do. I know it. I know it since I'm 16 years old. I've learned something from, I've read a book and watched so many videos about wholesaling. So I don't know what you're doing, but I'm willing to learn everything." He's like, "Okay, text me and we'll get into a courthouse. I will show you what I'm doing and da 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 da." And that's how I started basically. And he told me about you guys. That's how the conversation went. He met me with Taylor. Taylor told me about the kingdom. John told me about the kingdom. I was like, I said, okay, I will think about it. And after a month or so, I joined you guys, and it's been a journey since then.
I I specifically remember when you joined it. I was like, who the heck is this kid? Um, Dude, I've always been impressed with your attitude, your mindset, and your work ethic, and
Yeah,
that paid off. You recently did your first deal,
I did.
which is huge, man. Congrats on that.
Thank you.
Since you've even completed that first deal, now you've got several more that are kind of like in the pipeline, getting
Yes.
getting the details together and trying to get those
Mhm.
closed as well.
I actually got already two deals signed, already under contract, and we're just have to wire the money, and we'll have the houses already. But they're in the project.
Dude, if you start doing more deals than me, I'm gonna be a little bit upset. You're kicking my butt, man.
I'm catching you guys. Watch out.
But that makes us really happy, dude. It really does. So what does like the next 12 months look like for you? You're gonna close on the deals that you're working on.
Yeah.
You're starting to kind of build a system, aren't you?
Yes, I am. And the next 12 months, how they look for me is I'm not here to just wholesale. I'm not here to just fix and flip and buy and hold. I'm here to create a business because I'm always being fascinated and always being fan of business and how I can structure things that they can work without me and without putting it without working in the business, but working outside of creating more, system vision and understanding of where we are going, a path. So in the next 12 months, I'm currently, yes, we're doing deals. I'm in the business right now, but of course every entrepreneur in the beginning is in the business and have to understand every single process and how after that you can simplify it and create system behind it and hire people. So that's my vision of 12 months to start um, creating the system in place, and not just we me and my partner, we're not just wholesaling, but we're sometimes fix and flipping and stuff like this, but we're creating systems where we want to do everything, buy and hold, wholesale, fix and flip, whatever it comes to our pipeline, to be weird to be able to do something with it.
And that's another concept that a lot of people just don't know how to do or don't have. Um, you were in our scaling academy too, weren't you?
Yes.
Okay. So guys, what he's describing is building something that is fully sustainable and fully automated so that he can focus on other stuff. He said that he's an entrepreneur, not just in real estate.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do not realize that you can build a system and you can have a team and you can have a process and you can have it all written out, step 1 through 100 to get a real estate deal. A lot of people don't think that way. They say, man, I've got to do all the marketing. I've got to do all the driving for dollars. I've got to go down to the courthouse. I've got to do all the paperwork. I've got to run the paperwork to the title. Like that's their mindset.
Yep.
And then, when all is said and done, they get $3,000, but they put in 200 hours. And when you do the math, you're saying, I worked my ass off and I made less than minimum wage. Like that makes no sense at all. So I love the fact that you're saying, look, dude, I'm building systems and I'm building teams and I'm building the infrastructure of what, is going to quickly become, a company that's doing $500,000 and then $1 million, in a year's time.
Yep. My goal for this year is to for profit to be $500,000, and I think this is achievable. I even think that this is a small goal that I have set, but I hope I will achieve it, because I didn't start in the beginning of the year. I started a little bit later in March, when I quitted my job and became independent, just an entrepreneur. But yeah, I'm pretty confident we're gonna hit $500,000 mark.
So statistically speaking, if you gross $250,000,
Yeah.
you're top 3% in the world.
Yeah.
19 years old.
It's crazy.
Like, language barrier, like all of this different stuff, dude. Like that's not a small thing. Like that's not a small feat, man. Like you're gonna beat out 97% of the world at 19 years old. Your first, year and a half in business, dude. Like that's something to feel very, very proud of.
Thank you. And I wanted to mention that this is like, maybe people will get confused by this, but I've put a lot of work behind that, guys. Since I was 15 years old, and then I was a soccer player, and I learned everything about, and my dad was entrepreneur as well. So I've learned a lot of stuff, while I was a child and growing, about, team, and being, persistent, and being disciplined by doing stuff. And I was reading all these books about mindset, about how business and how to grow. So I've done I'm doing my work, and I still read and I still educate myself, and I'm striving to get better, because I believe that you cannot be the perfect. You always can get better. And yeah, don't get confused that I'm 19 years old. I've put a lot of work behind what I'm doing right now, and I'm still putting a lot of work, and this is just the beginning.
But dude, like you're literally saying there's no excuses. Whether you're 19 or 90, like there's no excuses. Before we started this call, I said, Stas, what have you been doing all day? For everybody that's watching. So what have you been doing all day, dude? You're 19 years old. You're hanging out with what the cute chicks at the mall. He said, I've been reading all day long. Like, it's like, dude, I barely woke up, Stas. I had a cup of coffee and I've been watching Netflix for 5 hours, right? Like, dude, like you're setting up the foundation of a business, and most people aren't willing to do that. Most people aren't willing to dedicate the time on a Sunday when it's probably beautiful over in Charlotte.
It is
like
very
on a beautiful weekend. Most people aren't willing to put in the time to say, I'm going to read all day. I'm going to study all day. I'm going to work on this area of my business, or this area, wherever's lacking, I'm going to work on that. Yeah. So that's cool, man. I love that. I did have a couple questions pop up. Christopher Boyd wanted to know what before real estate, so right after you graduated, before you dove in, what were you doing for work?
So it's funny that he asked me this question. I actually very believe in what you're asking, you will receive it. I was lacking of communicate communication skills on the phone, and I said I want to get a job that I'm on the phone, like all day long, dealing with negotiating, dealing with people. And I got a job to be a dispatcher at a transportation company. So that's what I was doing. I was negotiating. I was controlling my drivers, and I was dispatching. And yeah, it was great. I got very good foundation about talking on the phone and negotiating and stuff like this. So I really enjoyed it.
Perfect, guys. I'm going to open it up to a couple questions for Stas before we move on. So,
Yeah.
guys, throw it up in the comments for me if you've got a question for Stas.
Sure, throw it. I'm ready.
He's ready. You're stressing me out, dude. You're working like crazy, man.
Got to, man. Gotta get better every day.
So not only did he jump into real estate head first, 18 years old, he went straight to what we call our elite program, which isn't cheap. Worked his ass off, raised the money, and then recently met Stas in Charlotte when I was doing a speaking engagement with Ed and Taylor. And then he went to, I'm going to call it a mansion.
Mm-hmm.
Went to a mansion with us on the coast in Ocean Isle and got to spend we had like 3.5-4 days with myself, the other mentors, and a bunch of people in the kingdom. So
It was great.
You're busy. You're rocking and rolling.
Oh yeah, and how I got this money for the elite is from my high school. If somebody wants to know, I was selling all the time different stuff. I made
Drugs.
a lot of profit from fidget spinners. I don't know how many fidget spinners I've sold, but I've sold pretty good amount. And I was entrepreneurial in high school too. I always looked for ways, opportunities, because you create your opportunities. You just have to understand that in every corner there's opportunity, and if you're an entrepreneur, you will find it. So yeah.
I'm glad you didn't say you were selling drugs in high school.
No,
That
I'm
would,
not.
that would have made this really awkward for me.
Yeah, most of the people here do that.
Wouldn't surprise me. So I'm gonna give it just another second for a couple more questions. Stas, while we're waiting, what advice would you give just to anybody that wants to get involved in business or real estate? What advice would you give them? Is there like a particular book that you would have them read, or
For business or just like real estate, or just in general, if they want to be if they want to start something?
Yeah, in general, let's just say that I'm 25 years old. I hate my job. I want to do something different. I really want to be able to change my life. Where would you have them start?
First, I would really say that you should research and know yourself and what you exactly want to do and what you want to pursue before you quit your job. Because if you quit your job and you're still broken and missed without a direction or without a vision what you want to do and what you want to create, it's gonna create more problems for you. So yeah, start from knowing who you are and understanding where you want to go. And a book, I don't know. I think uh, for me, one of the most influential books for me was Seven Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. So yeah, read that book. Might change something in your life.
That's a great book. I like that you said. I'm gonna paraphrase what you said. Basically, like if your head's messed up and you don't have the right mindset and you don't have the right foundation,
Yep.
leaving your job and leaving a steady source of income to try to pursue something with the wrong foundation, you're probably not going to do very well, and you're probably gonna get beat up and maybe even fail. So
Yep.
I think that's cool. Bunch of questions coming in now. Mr. Van Horn, focusing on wholesaling or buy and hold?
Everything.
That's the right answer. So I'm gonna what do they call this? Leading the witness. I don't know if you watch any lawyer.
I'm not. I actually don't have TV in my house. I just have books, man.
You're out of control. Where was I going with that? The correct answer, Carl, what Stas said was everything, and the reason why he said that, and this is something that we teach in the kingdom, and I teach, on my personal stuff is, guys, your number one thing in business is marketing. Okay, so when you market effectively, you're going to have all sorts of different leads coming in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stas said everything because depending on the person and depending on the phone call or the email that comes in, his solution to that person might not just be wholesaler, might not just be flip, or might not just be hold. So guys, when we have multiple tools in our tool belt, now we can say, look, Mr. Seller, I've really listened to you, and I don't think that this property is going to fit my investor identity, so I'm going to have one of my partners come in and close it, aka wholesale.
Mm-hmm.
Or, hey, look, dude, this one really does fit my criteria, and I really do feel like my solution for you would be for me to personally come in and hold it. So there's a lot of different options, but as long as we're marketing, we get the phone to ring and we can figure out what actual problem people have. Now our job becomes very simple. It's almost like which one of these solutions is best for you. Okay, here you go.
Absolutely. When you have too many tools in your belt, and where I've learned my tools and I'm still learning is from the kingdom and from Jordan, Todd, Taylor, Tyler, Ed. I've learned, and not only even the other leaders. You always can learn something from everyone. So be open minded and don't close your mind. No, I can learn only from Jordan. No, you can learn from everyone. So yeah, be open minded and look for always new lessons, new stuff for your tool belt.
I couldn't agree more. Mr. Boyd over in your market wants to know, are you solo right now? I think he's meaning, are you working with a business partner or no?
Yes, I'm working currently with a business partner. You guys, I think you should have a business partner because you are not perfect, and I'm a bullish guy. I like risk. I like a lot of taking a lot of risk and be very actionable. And my business partner is different. He grounds me. He says, "Hey, we might look this way. It might be there's a different solutions. Let's see the solutions. Let's see how many what's the best part. How can we solve the problem the best?" And that's what I like about it. And yeah, if you know yourself, that's what I told you before you start a business. You should know yourself. That's how you start looking for partners and right people to get a grip on your business.
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit of a self identity. What do I lack? Where am I weak in my business?
Absolutely.
For me, it's no.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, for me, it's the paperwork, it's the administrative side. I hate all of that. Like I can come up with great ideas, I can come up with creative solutions and all that, but on the back end, it's like I'm lost, man. Like I don't even know where do I send this. I don't even know that.
Me too, man. I'm lost in the paperwork. I don't like it. Yeah, I can learn from Uncle Carl as well. Yeah, he's throwing in the chat. But yeah, for sure, Uncle Carl is the best in our market. You can learn a lot from him.
For sure. So hey, look, man, I once again, I greatly appreciate you taking your time, taking time out of reading to be on the show. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Where can people continue to follow your story if they wanted to continue watching you? As you progress.
They can follow me on Instagram. Official Stas is I'm in Instagram. And Facebook, Stas Kostadinov. And soon I am going to release my podcast. That's where I'm going to share my stories basically and how I learn and what I've learned every single day, and not just just sharing different kinds of situations that I have in my business. And if they follow me in social media, in Instagram or Facebook, they will know the name of the podcast.
Beautiful. Hey man, greatly appreciate it. Look forward to. I'll be talking to you actually here pretty soon in the group. Guys, make sure you congratulate Stas on not only just crushing it as a business owner, just doing his first deal and scaling to $500,000. Hey, you said it on social media. We're gonna get there, right?
For sure, we will. Thank you for having me, Jordan.
Absolutely. Guys, remember next week at 2 p.m. Eastern, we will be doing this again. Every single week, I'm going to be releasing a live show. It's also on my YouTube. You just put in my name, Jordan Stanley Payne. You'll find it on YouTube. Podcast is Multifamily Mafia. But guys, that's on every single podcasting platform under the sun, as will Stas's be there soon. All right, man. Greatly appreciate it. Everybody have a great day. And if you haven't shared the broadcast for me, do it really quick. That way people can hear this story. Appreciate you guys.